Hello, mathematicians. Here we are, Chapter 6, Lesson 3. We're going to be learning about algebra, the keyword that has been, I don't know, probably on your mind. You've been thinking about it. We've been talking about it. You've been hearing about it in videos, and now we're here. We are going to get started right away. So your book needs to be open to page 449, and we're going to actually figure out what the definition of algebra is, and then we're going to talk about this crazy little word called a variable, and then we're going to jump right on into the lesson. So open up your book to 449 while I get myself set up here. Okay, so take a look at this word algebra. It says it is a language of symbols used, or a language of symbols including variables. So basically, we're going to be looking at symbols. Okay, well, what do those symbols really mean? Well, we're going to figure that out. Okay, a variable is a symbol, usually a letter. See, I told you we'd figure out what a symbol is. It's usually a letter, and it's used to represent a number. For example, if I said A equaled 5, okay, that's what it is. My variable is A, but it represents a letter there, or a number, which therefore, anytime we would see A, we would use the number 5. Okay. Flip over to the next page. That is just the quick gist of it. All right, take a look. We are going to learn how to evaluate one-step expressions. We learned what an expression was in the last chapter, so now we're just going to learn to evaluate it by bringing in a variable. Remember, a variable is usually represented by a letter. Okay, so an algebraic expression contains at least one variable, so it contains at least one letter and at least one operation. Now, operation, add, subtract, multiply, divide, right? That's what that means. Okay, so let's take a look at this. Here's a great example. Here is an algebraic expression. It contains a variable and it contains an operation such as adding 2. All right, the letter X is often used as a variable. I don't know why they just chose X. X is used all the time in algebra, okay? So whenever you're trying to think of a variable, just think of X. It makes life easier. But we're going to see that M is going to be used, R is going to be used, okay? You're going to see a whole bunch of different letters that are going to be used, but for some reason X is always used. Now let's talk about what it looks like in multiplication, because this is where it gets a little different. You're going to see 5 times can be written as a dot. 5 times a variable can be written with the parentheses. And then 5 times a number could be 5x. I am going to tell you the one that I'm going to require us to use, because it's the one that is used most frequently in algebra, is this one. So whenever we see a number and a letter together, that means that equals multiplication. Okay? You're going to hear me say it all the time, and you'll actually see me do this. A number and a letter together means multiplication. It's just a way to remember. So anytime we see a number and a letter together, it means we are multiplying. Okay, so let's take a look at this. I'm going to show this example, and then we're going to practice. It says evaluate 16 plus b if b is 25. So what does that really mean? So I have 16 plus b, but it's telling me that b equals 25. So what am I going to do? Yes, I'm going to replace that b with 25. So now here is my expression. 16 plus 25. Well, that's pretty easy. 16 plus 25 is 41, and we're done. Okay, we've done it correctly. Okay. Let's practice. Let's go down here to A. Oh, my goodness. Okay. So it says, evaluate each expression if A is 6, B is 4, and C is 1/3. So all we're going to do is we are going to replace whatever variable that we have, and we're going to solve the problem. So let's first rewrite the problem, because remember, from our last expressions, Mrs. Horner is very particular about you rewriting the problem, and then we work our way down. Okay, so we have A plus 8. Well, what is A? A represents 6. So we're going to replace the A with 6 and bring everything else down. Okay, notice how it's literally it's like aligned. Everything is brought down in order. So now we add. Well, what is 6 plus 8? 14. So this first one is 14. All right, let's take a look at the next one. We have A minus B. All right, so I'm going to replace both variables. A is 6. B is 4. So I have 6 minus 4, which is 2. That's easy. A times B. All right, so let's replace A with 6 times, let's replace B with 4. And what's 6 times 4? 24. Okay, now let's take a look at D. It says 9C. Remember, number, letter together means we are going to multiply. So 9, and I'm going to replace C with 1/3. So I'm going to put it like this. Okay, 9 times 1/3. Let's write this like we would. We have fractions now. So 9 over 1 times 1 over 3. Do not use an X. Okay, because like I said from before and from up above, we use X a lot as a variable. So we're going to work on making sure that we use the dot instead to represent that. Okay, looking at this, I can cross cancel, so that makes my life easier. I can divide each of these by 3. 3 divided by 3 is 1. 9 divided by 3 is 3. I get 3. Well, I didn't want to do the equal sign, but I was running out of space. So I get 3 over 1, which is the exact same as 3. Okay, so my answer is 3. So we had 14, 2, 24, and 3. Okay, now let's go to the next page, which is 451, and it says evaluate multi-step expressions. All right, here we go, up in the corner. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Parentheses, exponents. And then we have a multiply or divide, left to right. And then we have add or subtract, left to right, whatever one comes first. All right, so is anything going to change? Nothing is going to change. All we're going to be doing is replacing our variable with whatever it's telling us that we're going to do, and then we're going to follow, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, our PEMDAS. Okay, we're following our algorithm. So in this situation, you see that it is 5t plus 4. They said that t equals 3, so 5 times 3 plus 4. Now we use our order of operations. Parentheses, we don't have any. Exponents, we don't have any. Multiplication or division left to right, yes, we do have that, so that's where we start. We start with what we're going to multiply first, which is 5 times 3. 5 times 3 is 15, and I bring the rest of it down. And then I have 15 plus 4, which gives us our answer of 19. So all we do is after we replace the variable, we go through and we solve the problem. Let's practice. Okay, so come on down below. And I'm just going to write, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. You still have it on your paper, parentheses, exponents, but I'm just writing it down here since mine is not in the screen. So add or subtract left to right. Okay, here we go. So we're going to evaluate. So our first one is E. It is 2D minus 5. Again, when we have the number and the letter together, that means we're going to multiply. So I'm replacing my D with, what does it say? 12. So I have 2 times 12 minus 5. Follow our order of operations. P, parentheses, nope. E, exponents, nope. MD, multiply or divide left to right. We do have multiplication, so we have to do that first. 2 times 12 is 24. Bring down my minus 5. Okay, do I have anything left? Nope, I literally just have 24 minus 5, which is 19. Very good. Okay, let's do the next one. 50 minus 3D. Here we go. We're going to bring this down. A number letter together means we're going to multiply. So 3 times, what is D? 12. here we go. We've got it all set up. 50 minus 3 times 12. So P parentheses, nope. E exponents, nope. MD, multiplication, division, yes we do. So we have 3 times 12. So I'm going to bring my 50 minus down, and then I'm going to do 3 times 12, which is 36. And now I have 50 times 30, or sorry, not 50 times 50 minus 36, which is 14. Okay, let's do this last one. 9e squared. I love this one. So what are we actually squaring? We're actually squaring e, but we're multiplying it by 9. So we have 9 times, and then I have 1/3 squared. So watch what I do. 1/3 squared. Well, what does 1/3 squared really mean? It really means that I'm taking, and I have to do my parentheses first, which I just put this in parentheses so that I could put my exponents on the outside. And now I have my exponents. So I do have exponents, which means I need to take 1/3 times 1/3 first. Okay? So I'm going to take 1/3 times 1/3. Well, I know that 1/3 times 1/3, 1 times 1 is 1. 3 times 3 is 9. Now I drop my 9 down, and I have 9 over 1. Oh my gosh, I can do a lot of cross canceling. 9 divided by 9 is 1. 9 divided by 9 is 1. I get 1. I'm running out of room. I get 1 over 1, which is the exact same as 1. Okay, so remember, when you square something, it's not 1/3 times 2. It's that number times itself, however many times the exponent says. Okay, all right. I'm going to stop here. I'm going to do another practice video doing our guided practice on the next page. So go ahead and hit pause just because I don't think I'll have enough time to get through all of it on this video, and we'll break it down into 2 shorter videos. Okay, so part 1 is done. Go back in and watch part 2.